The morning light filtered softly through the curtains, painting the room in shades of gold and shadow. And in that fragile light she sat quietly, her hands resting in her lap, her eyes lowered, yet her lips curved into a smile that carried both tenderness and secrets. A smile that made him feel as if he was both inside her world and standing just outside it. He watched her closely, his chest tight with emotions he had carried for years, feelings made heavier by words he had left unspoken, confessions swallowed in fear of breaking something delicate between them. He wanted to ask her what thought had touched her face with that expression, wanted to demand to share in whatever secret she held. But instead he simply studied her, memorizing the details of her skin, the softness around her eyes, the quiet strength that had always lived within her. For so long he had feared the silence that had crept into their lives, moments when conversations faltered, when glances were misread, when the distance between their hearts seemed impossible to cross. Yet now, sitting here, he realized that silence was not always emptiness. Sometimes it was a language of its own. Sometimes it was where truth lived. She felt his gaze and turned slightly, her smile deepening as if she could sense the storm in his chest. And though she said nothing, her eyes told him that she knew, that she had always known, that despite the years of doubt, frustration, and the unspoken griefs they carried, there was still something unbroken between them. He breathed in slowly, gathering courage, and whispered, almost afraid his voice would shatter the fragile peace. "What are you thinking?" She shook her head softly, her smile never leaving, and he realized she was not refusing to share, but rather protecting the moment itself, because not every feeling needed to be translated into words. A part of him wanted to insist, to reach inside and grasp what she hid, but another part, the part that loved her beyond his own pride, understood that love was not possession. Love was trust, and trust meant allowing her the mystery of her own soul. He moved closer, his presence warm beside her, and for a while neither spoke, letting the silence weave itself around them, a silence that felt less like distance and more like a bridge. Outside the window, life carried on, distant voices, the faint echo of children's laughter, the hum of the world oblivious to the two of them caught in their own fragile universe. He thought of the years ahead, the inevitable struggles, the possibility of more cracks forming between them, but he also thought of this moment, how her hand might fit into his, how one simple touch could hold forgiveness, memory, and promise all at once. Slowly, almost fearfully, he reached out, and when her hand found his, it was as if the years of silence folded into nothing, as if every wound had a chance to heal, as if their story, though imperfect and scarred, was still alive, still theirs to write. She squeezed gently, and in that gesture was everything neither of them could say, everything both of them longed to believe, that even in silence, even in uncertainty, love remained steady and true, waiting to be chosen again and again.